When he stopped explaining, his life changed. People noticed it almost immediately. He spoke less, he answered less, he explained almost nothing. At first, everyone thought something was wrong. They'd ask him, "Why are you so quiet now?" Or "Are you upset?" And even, "Did we do something?" He would just smile. But he didn't explain. Because you see, long ago, this man used to explain everything. If someone misunderstood him, he explained. If someone doubted him, he explained. If someone judged him, he explained. He truly believed that if people just understood him, everything would be fine. But he was wrong. The more he explained, the weaker he felt. The more he talked, the less people seemed to respect him. The more he tried to be clear, the more confused and complicated everything became. One day, after a particularly long conversation where he felt like no one was listening, he went home exhausted. It wasn't a physical tiredness, it was mental. He sat alone and realized something painful. He asked himself, "Why am I always defending myself? Why do I feel the need to constantly prove who I am?" That night, he made a small but powerful decision. He decided to speak less. Not to be rude, not to be cold, but to protect his own self-respect. The very next day, something interesting happened. Someone questioned one of his decisions. Normally, he would have launched into a multi-minute explanation. This time, he said just one sentence, and then stopped. The other person waited, expecting more, but no more words came. That silence felt a little uncomfortable, but for the man, it felt incredibly calm. At work, people started testing him. They were used to his long answers, his excuses, his detailed explanations. They didn't get them anymore. When he was accused of something unfairly, he stayed calm. When he was misunderstood, he let it be. When he was judged, he stayed silent. And people began to react differently. Some got nervous around him. Some became more polite. Some even became quiet themselves. Because when someone doesn't feel the need to explain, it sends a powerful message. It says, "I know who I am." Silence started to do what his words never could. Before, when he spoke a lot, people would interrupt him constantly. Now, when he spoke just a little, people listened intently. Before, his words were often ignored. Now, his words carried weight. He learned something incredibly important. People who explain too much are often just trying to be accepted. People who explain less are often already confident in themselves. Silence isn't emptiness, it is certainty. One evening, a close friend asked him, "Don't you care what people think anymore?" He replied calmly, "I care about my peace more." That answer surprised even him, because it was so deeply true. He started to notice another change. He felt lighter. There was less pressure, less stress. He stopped rehearsing conversations in his head. He stopped feeling the need to prove his intentions. He stopped trying to correct every single misunderstanding. And life became so much simpler. Of course, some people walked away. Some misunderstood him completely and made up their own stories. But something strange and wonderful happened. The right people stayed. The people who truly respected him didn't need elaborate explanations. The people who valued him didn't demand constant justifications. He realized something that most people learn far too late in life. You don't need to explain yourself to be respected. You need to respect yourself first. Silence taught him discipline. It taught him patience. It taught him control. He was no longer reacting to every question, no longer answering every doubt, no longer making himself available to every opinion. And with that, his strength grew. It wasn't a loud, aggressive strength. It was a quiet strength. The kind that doesn't need to argue. The kind that doesn't chase approval. The kind that stands firm without having to speak much at all. One day, someone said to him, "You've changed." He just smiled. He had. He didn't stop caring about others. He stopped over-explaining himself. He didn't stop speaking. He just started choosing his words more carefully. He didn't become distant. He became grounded in who he was. Remember this. When you explain too much, you give your power away. When you speak less, people lean in to listen. When you stay silent, your very presence grows stronger. You don't need everyone to understand you. You only need to understand yourself. Sometimes, speaking less isn't weakness. It's the ultimate form of self-respect. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content like this. We'll see you in the next one.